What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JB Sports back again with another one. Daniel Jacobs returns to the ring after suffering a decision loss to Canelo Alvarez, and he fights Julio Chavez Jr., son of famous Hall of Fame fighter Julio Chavez Sr. They're fighting in Arizona because the fight was originally slated to take place in Las Vegas, but Chavez Jr. didn't want to submit to a drug test. They showed up at the gym and he said no, he refused to take the drug test. So due to that, they weren't going to allow him to fight in Las Vegas. The Nevada Commission wasn't going to allow him to fight in Las Vegas, so they had to move the fight to Phoenix, Arizona. And it's going to be kind of ironic, man. That was his father's last fight of his career, took place in Phoenix, Arizona, as he lost to Costa Zoo in a fight that was, had a lot of people down there for that fight, man. A huge Latino crowd was in attendance for that fight, as Chavez showed every bit of his age and lost to the younger champion. Costa Zoo was a dominant at that weight class at the time. I think that fight took place at I believe it took place at lightweight, or maybe it took place at junior welterweight, as Costa Zoo went on from that fight to go on to knock out Zab Judah in a unification match at junior welterweight. So I think that fight might have been at 140. It could have been at 135. But anyway, that's they're going back to the scene of the crime, as they say. And we're going to see if Chavez Jr. can change the fortunes around this time, as his father suffered his last professional loss against Costa Zoo. Now, as far as this fight goes, Daniel Jacobs, man, this is about him, man. This fight's about him, man. He needs to go in there and take care of business. He's the better fighter, the more disciplined fighter. He's got the better skills. He's going to have to use that jab, man. The problem with him is, man, his jab is just not where it need to be, man. Daniel Jacobs shoot that little jab out, man. He shoot it, and he don't commit to the jab. He's just trying to shoot it out there as a rangefinder to set up his right hand, man. He's got to shoot it out there and score with it. I'm going to be looking for him to score with the jab tonight. If he can do that, he can show me. He can show that he could maybe make some improvements, man. Because right now, man, he's kind of stuck in a. How you go from first gear. You got a 5-gear car, and you go from first gear to second gear to third gear. And right now, he's stuck in. You try to go to fourth gear, and it locks up on you. You can't go to fourth gear, and you're like, damn, man, I can't get it to third gear, and you only can go so fast in that car. Because you want to get it to fourth and fifth gear if you want to get up towards 80 miles or more. And that's where Daniel Jacobs is right now, man. He's in third gear, man. He's going to have to take his career to the next level, man. If not, he's going to be one of those guys that, they can beat the average fighters, and they can beat some of the above average fighters. But when they get in there with the elite level competition, they're going to come up short, as you've seen when he fought Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Golovkin. So the jab is going to be the key for Daniel Jacobs. The speed, he should have a speed advantage, man. He's going to have to go work his combinations. He's going to have to dig to the body to kind of slow down the pressure that Chavez Jr. is going to try to do. Chavez Jr. is going to try to apply a lot of pressure. That's his MO, pressure fighter. And he's a good body puncher, as he's shown out without his career. He's a good body puncher, and he's got a good chin. So he's going to be looking to impose his size and will on Daniel Jacobs. Before the weigh-in, at the weigh-in, Julio Chavez came in at 172.6 pounds. And this fight is scheduled to take place at the weight limit of 168. So he came in over 4 pounds overweight. Daniel Jacobs came in around 167.6. So he did his job and came in at below the 168 weight limit. And so Chavez Jr. had to fork over $1 million to Daniel Jacobs. And that's been his problem throughout his career, man. Just a lack of discipline, man. Coming in overweight. He's got the world-renowned trainer, Freddie Roach, training him. So I kind of thought, I was like, man, this might be a little bit different for him. Maybe we can see the Chavez Jr. that came in and stopped Andy Lee. The Chavez Jr. that came in and defeated Brian Vera. The Chavez Jr. that came in and beat Rubio, So, maybe we get that version of Chavez Jr. But with him coming in overweight, man, I think we're gonna probably see the Chavez Jr. that came in and got dominated by Fonfara, came in and fought Canelo, which he did come in shape in that fight, but he came in weight drained obviously, as he was a walking zombie in that fight and got clearly outclassed in the fight against Canelo. And it's a wonder that he didn't get stopped in that fight. So that just lets you know that with everything being said about Chavez Jr., he does have a real strong chin. So if we can get the Chavez Jr. that even came in and fought Sergio Martinez and won in the 12th round, that little Chavez Jr., it could be an interesting fight. But with that being said, man, even that fight with Sergio Martinez, he came in and made the weight, but you can tell that he didn't do anything for the first 11 rounds. He waited till the 12th round to unload his barrage of punches. And the reason why he did that was because he didn't make the weight properly. He didn't get down to the 160-pound weight limit properly. He knew it, so that's why he didn't expose himself in the first 11 rounds, because he knew if he'd have did that, he probably got stopped in that fight, because he would have ran out of stamina, because he didn't, like I said, he didn't get down to that weight of 160 pounds when he fought Sergio Martinez properly, and it showed up in that fight. That's been the problem. I think ever since that fight happened, he's probably said, well, shit, I'm gonna try to make the weight, but if I don't make the weight, oh well, I'm not gonna kill my body to try to make the weight, because I came up short in the Sergio Martinez fight due to the fact that I cut the weight and I wasn't healthy in that fight, and I couldn't perform like I wanted to perform, and I basically was a one-round fighter in that fight, and it hurt me. So I think that fight has played a part of him missing these weights at the fights at the fights after that Sergio Martinez fight. And that's another thing what happened yesterday against at the weigh-in with Jacobs. He didn't. He knew he wasn't gonna make the weight. He knew when you 4 pounds overweight, going up there on that stage that you're not gonna make the weight limit. I'm pretty much sure they had a scale at his hotel, and he got on, and he knew he wasn't gonna make the weight. But they probably tried to talk to him about trying to cut the last 3 or 4 pounds, but he said, no, I'm not gonna do that. But I did that to make weight for the Sergio Martinez fight, and I was a walking zombie. I did that to make the Canelo fight, which was a catch weight at 164. I was a walking zombie. I'm not going to do that. I just paid a penalty, and I'm going to come in strong and come in at maximum capacity. And I think that's what he's doing against Daniel Jacobs. So we'll see what happens, man. But Daniel Jacobs has got to use the jab, use his combinations, sit down on his punches, because he can't just be constantly moving, and making Chavez Jr. confidence stay at a high level as you on your bicycle and not sitting down on your punches. You're going to have to get some respect from Chavez Jr. at some point in this fight. You got to sit down on your punch, hit him with some combination, and cut down that aggression that Chavez Jr. is going to try to come at him with. So we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what transpires. But I'm looking for a late stoppage by Daniel Jacobs. I'm looking for a late stop. I think it's going to be a more entertaining fight than people give him credit. When people thinking going into this fight. I think Chavez Jr. is going to come in with a good game plan by Freddie Roach, and I think he's going to have some moments in this fight going to the body and going up top. But I think Daniel Jacobs is too skilled and too technical and too skilled for Chavez Jr. at this point. I think he's going to break him down, chop him down, hit him with some punches, bust him up, and eventually I look for a second half stoppage. I say around about 9. I say 11th round stoppage for Daniel Jacobs as in his debut at super middleweight, and he moves on for a bigger fight after this, a more meaningful fight after this. I can't really say bigger than fight than this, because Chavez Jr. does have a name as far as boxing goes. He hasn't done it in the ring in a long time, but he does have that name recognition. So he's gonna get a lot of publicity off this fight if he wins, just because of the name that he's gonna have on his record once he defeats Chavez Jr. But he'll be looking to move on to meaningful fights. Callum Smith is going to be in attendance. That could be a possible fight they can make, because I'm hearing that Billy Joe Sanders is the front runner for the Canelo fight in May. So they might be looking to make Callum Smith versus Daniel Jacobs next. So he's looking at a title shot next. So Daniel Jacobs can't afford to slip up in this fight. He's got to be laser focused for this fight, to go in there and take care of business, and I think he will. 11th round stoppage. I think he's going to bust him up with his combinations, going to the body, and I think eventually Chavez Jr. retires. I think he's going to retire on the stool. I think he's going to tell Freddie Roach he don't want no more. He might not say he don't want no more. He's going to signal to Freddie Roach, either verbally or physically, that he don't want no more. And Freddie Roach is going to wave the fight out. 11th round stoppage for Daniel Jacobs. That's my prediction. This is JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend. Holla.